Hello there guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for another live review by myself as Chelsea finished, well, a goalless draw at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and I'm feeling in all sorts of different minds. First of all, please let me know if the sound is somewhat acceptable, because last time when I watched it back, this was way over spiking, so let me know whether it's all right today. But yeah, crazy. I honestly, I don't know what to think about today's game. I have so many thoughts, because we were really good defensively in the first half, not really challenged all that much. But when we were challenged today, the goalkeeper stepped up, the centre back stepped up. But going forward, we did nothing again. And let me explain the title, why I said, is Lampard turning into Mourinho? I'll get to that in just a minute. I'll get to that, don't worry. But before all of that, let me remind you to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. And make sure to drop a like, smash that like button if you're watching this right now. And also, if you wouldn't mind, make sure you subscribe to my personal channel, where there will be another more in-depth analysis of this game over on my channel tomorrow. The link to it is down in the description, or you just type in this name, Laurens Vescoli, over onto YouTube. Help me reach 7K subs. That'd be bloody brilliant. And just before getting into the rest of the game, rest of the video, I guess, let me quickly shout out our sponsors. If you do want to pre-order Football Manager 21, do so with the link in the description. Get it early, pretty much just for being a Chelsea fan, and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea kits, make sure to use the other link in the description below. It helps us out a lot, and it gets you the best deal possible. I don't see anyone saying anything about the mic, so should probably be fine. But let's talk about a few things. Obviously, first of all, starting with the lineup, which was very different today. Lampard changed it up today. In my opinion, not necessarily the best way, but he changed it up today because he went 3-4-3. I thought we were over that. I thought we were past it. I thought this just mindless defending without doing anything going forward was in the past, but seemingly it wasn't in the past, because we started with Edouard Mendy in goal, a back three of Azpilicueta as the right centre-back, Thiago Silva as the central centre-back, and Kurt Zouma as the left centre-back, Ben Chilwell as the left wing-back, Reece James as the right wing-back, and midfield two of Jorginho and N'Golo Kante, and then a front three of Christian Pulisic, at least on the left, Kai Havertz, though, on the right, which we know is not his best position, and Timo Werner starting up front. And in the first half, we had the larger majority of possession. We had like 58, 56% of the ball, but 90% of that was literally in our own half, passing between the wing-backs and the centre-backs and the goalkeeper. Maybe a couple of touches by Jorginho and Kante, but that was literally, we had nothing going forward. Yeah, there was a couple of moments, but genuinely, for the first 30 minutes, just zero happened in the game. Just no one did anything. No one had any shots. We apparently had one shot, according to my stats app, but I didn't even remember it. So that was the first half. Then a couple of things started to happen. Bruno Fernandes had a shot from distance, which Mendy did, saved very comfortably. Pulisic had a deflected shot, which, could have done really well. Also had a shot from inside the box when he went past whoever the defender on the side was. And it was a comfortable save for De Gea. And then something else happened. Mendy had another save to make anyways. And Pulisic was somewhat close to scoring after, he kind of stole the ball from Fred, went through himself, took the shot, which I think would have been going for goal. Not sure whether De Gea would have been able to save it, but it took a deflection and went wide for a corner. But to be honest, that was really it for the first half. We go into the second half, no changes made. At the start, kind of the same, but United grew into it more and more and more, especially when they made the substitutions, because they made substitutions a lot earlier than we did today, when they brought Paul Pogba on for Juan Mata and Edison Cavani on for Daniel James. Man United, by the way, not starting in a 5-3 at the back system, but in a 4-2-3-1. But still were even more passive than we were in the first half. But they started it going more and more and more and more and more. Do you know what I mean? But without being like particularly threatening. And we had our moments in the second half where I'm like, we should have done a bit more with that. But the biggest thing, and that still happened in the first half, honestly, one of the craziest penalties not given I have ever seen. Harry Maguire literally turned into a WWE superstar, turned into a wrestler, literally went like this around Azpilicueta and just dragged him down when the free kick was played. Apparently, VAR checked it. That's what they said officially, even though we never actually saw them apparently checking it on TV. And it wasn't given. He literally went like that and dragged him down. Honestly, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Honestly, Manchester United, I don't like to shout things like that around, but at some point, someone must question whether Manchester United are just corrupt. or the FDFA and the referees are corrupt. Like, how on earth can this keep happening just to Manchester United? How can they get a penalty at Brighton after the final whistle when Brighton were denied a clear penalty earlier in the game? How can we be denied that clear of a penalty in 2 minutes on the other end because that penalty wasn't given? Rashford was, perfectly fine tackled. And then, he kind of hit someone's leg because it was a massive kerfuffle of people in the box and he stayed down. And VAR checked it for about 5 bloody minutes. Ridiculous. And the same thing nearly happened in the second half when Maguire dragged down, or maybe it was Lindelof, you couldn't fully make it out, but it was either Maguire or Lindelof had both their arms around Zuma and dragged him down. And again, it wasn't given. Again, we don't even know whether it was checked. Genuinely outrageous. How can this keep happening with VAR? We know that VAR is still looked at by referees, but someone made a good point. Maybe we should put the best referees with the VAR, because that's actually where match-deciding decisions are being made. Not on the pitch anymore. On the pitch, nothing happens. All that happens on the pitch is a couple of silly yellow cards and a couple of fouls that no one cares about, really. The decisive decisions are being made, what is that at Heathrow anyways, where the VAR people are set. So maybe we should put the best refs there, because whoever is there right now is genuinely, they're all stupid. They're all stupid idiots. The bloody lot of them. Honestly, Sunday League referees are better than that. And I don't care if you're a Manchester United fan or whatever else. Every fan in the world should know that that is a clear penalty. That doesn't mean we necessarily would have won. That doesn't even necessarily mean we would have scored the penalty. But it is a penalty. And it's ridiculous. We're at the Premier League. We're in the Premier League. Everyone always claims, especially English people and especially everyone that works within the Premier League, the best league in the world. The best league, but clearly the bloody worst referees. The only league in the world, by the way, that only does 3 substitutions, which, shocker, shocker, the most muscle injuries of all time within the first 5 games of the season. I mean, bloody, do any of these people have a brain? Do you, like, honestly, it's ridiculous. Like, honestly, the results, I will get to that. The performance, I get to that. What Frank is doing, I'll get to that. But VAR is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely outrageous. But anyways, let's continue on with the second half. We have a couple of moments. A Reece James cross. A Pulisic, in my opinion, should get on the end of at the far post. But someone told me on Twitter that Maguire got a small deflection on it, hence why Pulisic couldn't rejudge it. I guess if so, I didn't see that. Fair enough. But like I said, I didn't see him get a deflection. If so, I can't really criticize. But that was a beautiful cross for Reece James. But at the end of the day, we didn't really have much. We made a double substitutions after around 70 minutes, 71st minute, when Timo Werner was taken off for Tammy Abraham, and Mason Mount came on to replace Kai Havertz. And usually you think, are you serious? You take off our 2 expensive signings and you bring on the 2, English players that are kind of having iffy form at the moment. Well, Tammy not really iffy form right now, but towards the end of last season, I guess, because he hasn't really played enough this season. And when he did, it was all right. But honestly, they both helped us, I thought. We were better when they were on than we were before, to be honest. Especially Mount coming on for Havertz gave us a lot of what we needed, because Havertz was lackluster. He always looks lackluster, but he didn't have enough tension in his body today when going into challenges. He was brushed off the ball way too quickly and didn't really look up for it at times. Other times, very good, but then he also underhit some passes. Werner was trying, but just couldn't really do anything. Didn't really receive any service. And then as the game went on, Manchester United also made another substitution later on as they brought Greenwood on for McTominay. They grew into it more and more and more. Edison Cavani gave them a bit of a more threatening outlet than they had before that. And, Mendy started to have to do a couple of things. Thiago Silva had 2 incredible blocks in there late on in the game. Brilliant. Honestly, incredible. And Mendy, in injury time, what a save. Marcus Rashford just pulled the trigger from outside the box, and Edouard Mendy just went flying. And pushed it around the post for a corner, and it was all calm. No chance on earth Kepa makes that save. And that is not even saying Kepa is bad or whatever. Kepa probably isn't even tall enough to make that save, because, mind you, Mendy is huge. And he makes that save. Brilliant investment. You can say all you want about whatever the tactics against Sevilla and today. Thiago Silva and Mendy played 3 games together, 3 clean sheets. They played together against Crystal Palace when we beat them 4-0. They played together on Tuesday against Sevilla when we played 0-0. And they played today when we played 0-0 at Old Trafford. And now I'm going to get to why I, think Frank Lampard is kind of turning into Mourinho, with one problem. Because going to Manchester United away, going to one of the biggest clubs in the league away, and you just go there and set up for a draw, and maybe you can nick a 1-0. That's literally what our setup was today. Make sure we don't concede, and maybe we can nick a goal and win 1-0. That's what the setup was today. And had we been given the penalty by VAR, that might have actually worked out, and it would have been brilliant. And that was literally Jose Mourinho to a T. Two differences. First of all, when Jose Mourinho did that, there wasn't a top 6, a top 7, a top 8, which we have now with Wolves and Everton and whatever else. Back then, it was more of a clear top 4. So you kind of lose more points if you do that at every big game, at every big away game. But also, we don't have the results previously this season against the small clubs to afford to do that. If we beat West Brom, if we beat Southampton, if we won those games, fair enough, go to Old Trafford and get a draw. But because we already dropped so many points and are only on 8 points after 5 games, we can't go around trying to get draws. And I understand Lampard is frustrated with the amount of goals we concede, but we're Chelsea Football Club. Surely we can't be in a position where we're like, either we, play offensive and we score 3 or 4, but we might also concede 3 or 4. So who knows what the result is going to be? Because sometimes we might not get the goal in because the opponent might defend really well, or the goalkeeper might have a really good day, whatever else. But we will make mistakes and concede too many goals. And the other option is we shut up shop, even though it wasn't a complete just park the bus today, not at all. But the way the shape was, we just couldn't attack. Manchester United did decent in midfield, but we just couldn't attack. We had absolutely nothing. And that seems to be the only way right now. Either we defend well, but we can't score, or we attack well and we can't defend. Surely there needs to be a mix in between the both of them. And I don't understand why Frank isn't trying, because we had it against Palace, and I know it was Palace. But with Mendy and Thiago Silva in there, I think we can just play as we usually do and be better defensively. And he's not trusting them, in my opinion. Because 3 at the back, yeah, it worked well defensively. And honestly, Mendy was brilliant. Aspi was brilliant. Thiago Silva was incredible. Thiago Silva was brilliant. Ben Chilwell was good defensively. Reece James was good defensively and good going forward. Jorginho was, in my opinion, had a really good game. Kante was good defensively, shocking on the ball. I'll get to Kante in a minute. But then all of the front 3, whether it was Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, or Tammy, because Mount actually was quite decent, I thought. They were all poor, but not even saying, they had like the poor touches or a poor run or poor shots. They should have done better. No, it's just the system. What is my head doing anyways? The system just didn't work. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, we have way too many players back. Like I said, in the first half, we had all this possession, but we couldn't pass a way out. And whenever we tried to, it didn't work. And then we punted the ball long to absolutely nobody. And G Bizzle literally just put it there. Kante is shocking on the ball. Yes, he is. People need to now start to understand that N'Golo Kante is not the N'Golo Kante he was in 2016, 17, 2017, 18, and even 18, 19 to some extent. He's not that player anymore. I don't know whether it's because of injuries. I don't know whether it's because he's getting older. I don't know whether it's, a lack of confidence. I don't know why this is the case. But as soon as N'Golo Kante hits the ball, you can be at least 90% sure that we're going to lose possession now. The guy cannot play a good pass with less than 5 touches. He can't. He had 2 or 3 good runs and moments. Yeah, he is dynamic. He's still good at tackling. He's quick. He has, the dynamicism. Is that a word? I don't know. Just to run. But whenever he's put under pressure and he needs to release the ball, he just cannot bloody do it. He just cannot bloody do it. Kante, and I guess to some extent it worked today, but the way we played, you might as well have played Kovacic and Jorginho today. Because, yeah, Kante had some good interceptions, but because we had the back 3 behind them anyways, it was kind of pointless. I mean, the back 3 were all brilliant. Thiago Silva had one weird moment where in midfield, and that was the biggest chance that Manchester United had in the first half, and Mendy had to make a great save from Marcus Rashford. The ball was kind of there. Thiago Silva kind of came for it, or, I don't know, controlled it, but let it bounce. And Jorginho, I don't know whether he slipped or whether he just tried to slide tackle, and it was still on the ground. And Thiago just left the ball for Jorginho, who was still lying on the ground. And then last second had to jump up and try to do something and lost the ball. And then Thiago Silva was out of position, and they just had an easy through ball to Marcus Rashford. And thankfully, Mendy did really well to save the ball. But that was the only iffy moment we had, really, proper defensive mistake moment. Everything else was brilliant defensively. But we just didn't do anything on forward. We could barely pass their halfway line. Barely. Honestly, it was ridiculous. Some of the crosses by Reece were decent. Chilwell's crosses I didn't like so much today. Weirdly, as soon as Tammy on, we played one more cross into the box, which is also the same system problem we had almost last year. When we played, or even for many years, honestly, for many years, when we had I don't know, Higuain last year, 2 years ago. We always play crosses. He's not that good in the air. We brought Giroud on, didn't play a single other cross. Last year, we had, well, Tammy up front. We know he's not that good in the air, even though he's tall. Play one cross after the other. As soon as we bring Giroud on, we stop crosses. It's a bit strange. So at least today, even though Tammy still is great in the air, he's still better than Timo just because of his height. Maybe we need Gilmore or Rice to make sure team is balanced. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Poor you, 15th and laughing at us. I don't know who's laughing at anyone, but yeah. Tammy is awful in the air. Yeah, I agree. But, at least you have some height in there now. It's not like not saying that Werner is necessarily bad in the air, but just because he's so short, it's kind of pointless against Maguire and Lindelof, in all honesty. Like, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Solskjaer should be relieved. He should be relieved. He should be relieved, but I'm not even saying like we were all that good today. For the penalty, yes, and if we go 1-0 up with the defensive performance other than that, we probably win the game, but you don't know that. You don't know that, and, it's depressing. You guys are saying Kante's not good. Okay, let Kova and Jorginho start next match. See, you're taking Kante for granted. See, now that's the thing. We see CTID, whatever that means. That's a problem with N'Golo Kante right now. He's still brilliant defensively, but he can't release the ball. And at this moment, we all know that Kovacic and Jorginho together is defensively not as good as when Kante plays. But because we struggle so much when he plays higher up the pitch, or not, when he's in possession, I'm not sure it's worth it. I'm not sure it's worth it. Thank you for the... I couldn't tell you what currency it is, but cheers for the donation, Paul JR. Werner failed 8 opportunities. He wasn't bad, but let's be honest, both Pulisic and Werner made poor finishes, but I'm not complaining with a draw. I think that's a bit harsh saying poor finishes. There was one moment that Werner could have done a bit better with. I can't remember whether it was... I think it was late in the first half with the ball by Havertz, and Werner tried to control it with his right rather than maybe even finish first time with his left, or at least control it with his left. If he gets on that, a lot more comes from it, and we probably do a lot better. But, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I will get through the rest of the team in just a minute. Jim was just something. 90% of our passes were between the back 5. So frustrating. Yeah, I completely agree. Why do we play Jorginho? Because he's brilliant. That's why. Unlike Kante today. Poor chemistry with Pulisic and Werner. Yes, but to some extent, that kind of is expected. Lampard needs to go before it gets worse. Can't set up a team to win, similar to the Sevilla game. Never came to win. Yeah, and Jordan Donegan put that as a comment. That's exactly why the title says, is Lampard turning into Mourinho? Because for some big games, Mourinho would do exactly that. The difference is Mourinho would go and beat the likes of West Brom and Southampton. Back in the day, I'm not talking about Mourinho right now, Mourinho Man United. Back in the day, Mourinho. So Lampard needs to, if Lampard can get that balance right, and we get a draw against Sevilla, which is acceptable. We get a draw away at Man United, which is acceptable. And now we start battering teams that are coming up now. Fine. I'm good with that. South African Rand. Appreciate that a lot, mate. Appreciate that. This team has no strategy. All we do is pass and defend. We don't create. That's because Frank has no experience with tactics. I think, that's making it a bit easy. And Stefan Williams, Leclerc 4th today for Ferrari today. Absolutely love that. Forza Ferrari. That's pretty brilliant. Ole out. I agree. Why not? Lampard is not a good coach. I mean, it's tough to tell because to me today, Lampard wanted this. I'm not saying Lampard is not going to sit. Well, maybe he will, but I don't think Lampard was like, okay, we need to create and we need to be creatively aggressive and we need to be offensive football and scoring goals and this. And I don't think that's necessarily what he wanted today. He wanted to shut up shop and nick a 1-0 if we can, and we almost did. We got the clean sheet, which is good. And we could have nicked that 0-0 if VAR worked. So you can say his plan worked. Whether his plan was good is a different story. But the plan that he had, I think, today worked exactly how he wanted it to. So it's a tough one. Did I see a German coming there? Unsere Fahne flattert uns voran. Don't know what you're trying to say with that. I speak German normally because it's my first language, but I don't know what you're trying to say with that. All the talents are wasted on the Lampard. Well, you need to give it a little bit more time to see about that because very selfish had Pulisic wide open. Can't remember the specific moment, but maybe. Lampard is going back to basics so we can build from the clean sheet. Yes, I think he might be doing that, but we don't know how that will work out. So it's an easy thing to say, oh, good. Havertz is Havertz is blocking the link up on the left side. He should not come between Ben, Timo, Pulli on the left side. Havertz very rarely did that, so I don't know what you're trying to say, to be honest. Werner needs to accept he's not Messi and stop trying to do flashy stuff and score properly. I don't see Werner doing flashy stuff ever, to be honest. Lampard putting me to sleep. Yes, Eric Ten Hag or Gasperini. It's not that simple, people. It's not that simple. Kante needs to be on the bench. To be honest, guys, I kind of agree. And by the way, everyone that's watching right now, make sure you smash that like button right now. It doesn't matter whether you're happy about the result. Please just cheer me up. Make sure you smash the like button. That'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe to Blues Fan City and subscribe to my channel. There will be a more in-depth analysis of this game tomorrow over on my channel tomorrow evening. So make sure you subscribe to that. The link to it is down in the description. Or you just type in this name, Laurens Vescoli, onto YouTube and subscribe. That'd be bloody brilliant. I bet Arteta is better than Lampard. It's gone again. And only from an Arsenal fan. I mean, for the time being, maybe he is, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see. It's not that simple. Pulisic is trying to take on defenders too much, in my opinion. I think he's not doing it enough, personally. He's just doing it in the wrong moments. Jorginho is prone to back passes. He loves them, bro. He does love them, but Jorginho will never make a stupid ball that could lose his possession. Jorginho will play a forward pass if there is a good forward pass on. But if it's a really risky forward pass, the risks losing us possession and risks being caught in transition, which could mean us, you know, just conceding a huge chance or possibly a goal. Jorginho will not make that pass, and that's why he's a great player to have. Because too many players we have try those passes and then we're just caught. There's a reason why very, very rarely Jorginho has made a misplaced pass and it was intercepted, and that's when we conceded. Do you want that from your deepest players? When Kante does it loads of times. Kante loads of times has misplaced passes and then we almost concede. You know, it's crazy. Too much back pass, no cohesion between defenders and attackers. I completely agree with that, but that today was down to the system. Because in a 3-4-3, you never have cohesion between attack and defenders. It's as simple as that. When we had it with Conte, when we started the system, that was a simple way because no one knew how to defend against it. And you could have this simple triangle of the white centre backs, the wing back, the centre mid, and then the wing back, the centre mid, and the right winger. And you could have those triangles and play your way forward, and then you weren't the final third, and then you could do something. But because people learned how to play against the 3-4-3 now, the only one that still do it well is Wolves. Once you learn that, the system is like stupid. The system is irrelevant. It doesn't do anything. Stop defending Jorginho. He's the reason why Kante gets tired. Kante is awful from minute one, so I don't know what you're waffling about tiredness. Bloody hell, shut up, mate. Say it how it is. Lampard isn't good enough. I don't know if he's good enough. His plan today worked. I don't like his plan, but I didn't like Conte's plans either. And I'm not going to say Conte's an awful manager, so, you know, and that's a problem. Our formation and our team selection made it difficult for our attackers. I lost that comment now. Sorry, guys. Question by, not even going to try to pronounce that. Do you think we would have won if Frank played a different formation? It's always hindsight, right? I wouldn't have wanted a 3-4-3 even before the game. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of 3-4-3. Would we have won with a different formation? I don't know. We might not have been as good defensively, but we might have scored more. Who knows? It's impossible to tell, but I know it wouldn't have been as boring. That's for sure. How can anyone criticize Jorginho today? You people are absolutely stupid, honestly. If we get a balance in the team, again, whenever I read a comment, it's just gone. Again, on another $5 donation. Appreciate that, mate. It was frustrating because I know Kante improved going forward on Asari, but seems to regress now. Might be better as a lone DM, or might be better on the bench. To be honest, drop Havertz for Mount. That's funny. Remember all the comments for the last few games? They're like, Mount can't play. Mount is playing on the wing. Everyone like angry at Frank. And now drop Havertz for Mount. This is quite funny. 250 million in the mud. I mean, it's a bit early to decide on that, isn't it? Kante used to run with the ball. He doesn't do that anymore. No, he doesn't. And whenever he tries to, he gets pressurized. Then he doesn't release the ball quickly enough. If he loses it, we get caught in transition. It's crazy. Kovacic is also slow on the ball to do many dribbles. Yeah, not wrong. Too many reactionary fans. I agree. I genuinely agree with that. Some of you are being too reactionary. But yeah, what else can I say? I'm going to talk through a couple of things. Mendy, brilliant. I'm super happy to have him. Great. Honestly, very, very happy. Honestly, obviously, he had that silly moment in the first half where he tried to pass it to Zuma, almost passed it into his own goal and passed it out for a corner, which was good. But he had 3 or 4 brilliant saves, a couple of good catches of crosses, even on the ground, which I was very happy with. Thiago Silva, remarkable. Aspi, very good. Zuma, good. Not very good, actually. Chilwell, offensively, not so much. Defensively, very happy with him. Reece James, another brilliant display. Jorginho, happy. Kante, good defensively, poor in possession, just so poor. And the front players were all awful. They were all awful. Jorginho over Kante, you're speaking from your behind, mate. No, it's a simple fact. People need to understand that Kante isn't the Kante of 3 years ago anymore. Tell me the last time Kante had more than... Kante for the last 2 seasons in a row had no more than 3 good games, 3 actually really world-class games in the entire season. 3! And he's meant to be world-class. If you're world-class, you don't just have 3 or 4 or 5 world-class games in a season. That's not how it works. Mendy was excellent today. With Kepa, today is a loss. I agree. We need 4-3-3 again. I agree as well. But the problem is Kai Havertz, because his best position is the number 10 role, and the 4-3-3 doesn't have a number 10. But maybe he works as an 8. We haven't seen it yet. If we get a balance in the team, we are finishing top 3, period. I completely agree, mate. I completely agree with that statement. I just hope we actually start getting that balance at some point. Jorginho is our best midfielder of the night. Oh, without a doubt. Kante needs to go get 70 million for him and get Declan Rice. And I'm not sure if Declan Rice is the solution, but, you know, anybody from the youth team can easily play better than Jorginho. Well, not sure about that one because Kante can't. So one last comment. Let's leave it on this by Albs07. We better win on Wednesday. Yes, we better do. And we better not see another 3-4-3 against Krasnodar on Wednesday in the Champions League. Of course, I'll see you for that, for the preview of that on Tuesday. But yeah, I really do appreciate every single one of you that has tuned in. Hey, it's upwards and onwards. The plan Frank had today worked, other than obviously nicking the 1-0. But that is VAR's fault. VAR is a disgrace. I don't know whether Man United pay people. I don't know whether the referees are just blind. I don't know whether they purposely help Manchester United. One thing that's for sure is that they always get their way and they always get lucky. And it's genuinely outrageously frustrating because 2 clear penalties that was today. 2. I mean, you could even argue that maybe Marcus Rashford, the tackle on Marcus Rashford is a pen, but it comes on the counter from when we should have had a pen. So that's completely irrelevant, quite frankly. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. Drop a like if you're watching this right now. Drop a like if you're watching this as a video later on. And if you are, make sure you leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe to my personal channel as well. That'd be massively appreciated. The link to it is down in the description, or you just type in my name, Laurens Vescoli, onto YouTube. Help me reach 7K subs or 10K subs. You know, if we've reached 7K by the time you are there. But there will be a more in-depth analysis of this game tomorrow over there. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would check that out. And just lastly, let me shout out our sponsors once again. Do pre-order Football Manager 21 with the link in the description. Get it early, pretty much just for being a Chelsea fan, and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea gear, make sure you use the other link in the description below. It gets you the best deal possible and it helps the channel out massively. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. It's upwards and onwards. We move, and I'll see you when I see you.